Good evening and welcome into Estadio Ciudad in Santiago del Estero, Argentina for the first semifinal matchup in the 2024 BCL Americas Final Four. Alongside Andrew Hunt, I'm Craig Theta, and we're so glad you can be here wherever you're tuned in from around the Americas or around the world. In the USA on the FanDuel TV platform, in South America on DirecTV, and around the rest of the world on the BCL Americas YouTube channel. Well, Andrew, we started off with 12 teams, and we are down to the Final Four, and this semifinal between Halcones de Xalapa of Mexico and Flamengo of Brazil should be a good one. Halcones was 20 seconds from having their season end in the quarterfinals at the hands of Nacional, but Paul Stoll hit a 40-footer in double overtime of Game 2 to save their season, and then they won Game 3 against an exhausted Nacional squad.
Yeah, that thing was from the bleachers, if I remember correctly. Stoll,
Not far from it.
Stoll didn't. Yeah, he didn't have the impact that we kind of thought he would in the first game of that series, but he definitely made up for it in Game 2 with that shot, as well as his stats in Game 3. If I recall, Game 2 was probably his best game, but Game 3 definitely an improvement over Game 1. And even though that was an exciting finish, that wasn't the end, and Halcones is hoping they still have one more game to play after this evening.
Flamengo, meanwhile, cruised through the quarters. I think Obras, in fact, they were the only team that did not lose a game in the quarters. Flamengo won it all in 2021, and if they're going to win again this year, they'll have to rely on their defense against Halcones. Flamengo boasts one of the top defenses in BCL America's play, giving up just 74.5 points per game. But Halcones scores 15 per game more than that. It's not quite the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, but Flamengo has got to do some work on defense.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty balanced lineup for our semifinal games. Our later matchup has more contrasting styles, I think, which means these two teams, Halcones and Flamengo, have familiar styles and need some of the same things to go their way to win. Sorry, I was seeing what's going on the court here.
They're starting the pregame introductions as we have a look at our officials for this game. Julio Anaya of Panama, Andres Bartel of Uruguay, and Juan Fernandez of Argentina. When you look at these two teams, they are very evenly matched. Nothing really stands out as far as a glaring difference between these two teams. You look all up and down the stats, and they're just within a percentage point or two or a point or two from each other on pretty much everything. I haven't been able to see anything that leads me to believe one team's going to have the advantage over the other in this game.
Right. Might sound like a broken record to you and any of our fans that have been watching the entire series, but I think turnovers and controlling the rebounds are really going to make a difference here, or could be the difference, as it's one game and go home if you lose. The other thing is, too, that you can never count out is if a team just gets hot, that's kind of hard to account for. So you're always looking for that as a coach. You don't rely on getting hot. I try to do the things I can control. If I get hot, even better. Hopefully that gives me a 10 or more lead cushion where I can take a few extra turnovers or something and still have a chance to win.
Halcones is about 5% better on three-point field goal shooting, 36 to 31.2%. But on the other hand, Flamengo better on the rebounding, 41 per game to 37. So you look up and down, the numbers just all seem to balance out. As we look at Flamengo being introduced onto the floor, of course, the focus for Flamengo is Gabriel Galvanini, the 6'8", 25-year-old. He's had 3 games of 20 or more points. He had 24 points and 20 points against Obras in the quarterfinals. He disappeared earlier in the tournament for a couple games. He had 2 games where he only had single digits points. He had 1 game where he did not play. 1 game where he only took, I think, 6 shots. I don't know if there was an injury at play there, but essentially, as Gabriel Galvanini goes, that's how Flamengo goes.
Yeah, he's definitely a force for them, and we saw somebody on the other side here, Jordan Glenn, for Halcones, that I think is someone you're going to want to stop. I feel like, I don't know, I think Mahal Basic matches up decently with Galvanini. I think Galvanini's a little more mobile, but Mahal Basic, pretty solid player for Halcones.
A couple of other folks for Flamengo.
Sorry.
By the way, Galvanini, the number 5 leading scorer in this tournament, the top 4 scorers individually are all out of the tournament. Their teams lost. So Galvanini, the leading remaining scorer, and he is a candidate for tournament MVP along with Franklin Hassel, I believe, of Hebraica Maccabi, but we'll get to that game in just a moment. A couple of other players for Flamengo to keep an eye on. The veteran Guy Deodato, 7 of 8 games in double-figure scoring, 12.9 points per game, and he can get hot from outside. And of course, your guy, Kyle Manfio. He had the Kaio, we named it. He was 7 of 7 in 3-point shots, 3 of 3 on 2-point shots, and 1 of 1 from the free throw line against Obras in the quarters. And in fact, over the course of 3 games, he hit 11 straight 3-pointers. But that 7 for 7, 3 for 3, and 1 for 1, well, we named that the Kaio. So he could be the X factor for Flamengo.
Yeah, and those 3 guys you just mentioned, I think, did you throw Mata in there? I heard Deodato and Manfio, but to add Mata if you didn't, when you talk about Halcones being the better shooting team, just based off the eye test, if I don't look at the statistics, which before you had mentioned that difference, I hadn't paid attention to that specific statistic, and I'm like, well, Flamengo, better shooting team here. And then you say they're actually 5% worse than Halcones. I feel like if I was just walking in a gym and saw these 2 teams playing, I'm probably saying Flamengo is the better shooting team. So we'll see.
Yeah, but
here,
that's
like
not
I
what
say.
the numbers say.
Right.
As we
Manfio can definitely get hot again, maybe.
As we break down the Halcones roster, of course, you mentioned Jordan Glenn, a ridiculous 23 of 41 from 3-point range. That's good for best in the tournament by far, 56%. He's going to be the guy that Flamengo is going to have to stop. And you've got 5 other guys averaging a double-figure scoring. Daniel Bejarano, Taylor Fernandez, Alexis Elson are another guy you really like, David Cubigan, Gabriel Giron, and Rashid Mahalbasic. As we look at Paco Olmos, head coach for Halcones. So Halcones is a deep team. They have a lot of different ways that they can hurt you. And so Flamengo is really going to have to be on their P's and Q's when it comes to defense in this game.
Yeah, I don't know which one of these games I'm more excited for. Like I said, this one more evenly matched. Our second matchup is 2 teams that are quite different, and Hebraica is different than most of the teams we've seen in the tournament in that they're not a big 3-point shooting team. They're more of an inside team. So that's always interesting. But I think with this game, I'm probably, I don't know, maybe I'm equally excited because this is like I said, 2 teams that have much the same style. So we get to see that. And then that later game is going to be 2 teams that are quite different. So, two games that both I expect some excitement out of. Definitely a little more shooting, I think, might happen in this one from the outside.
Gustavo Conti, the head coach for Flamengo, assisted by Fernando de Oliveira and Cristiano Medeiros Pereira. Starting lineup for Flamengo: Guy Deodato, Franco Balbi, Didi Lusada, Gabriel Galvanini, and Caio Manfio. For Halcones: Daniel Bejarano, Gabriel Giron, Jordan Glenn, Rashid Mahalbasic, and the Mexico national team veteran, the guy who saved their season, Paul Stoll. Again, our officials for this game: Julio Anaya, Andres Bartel, and Juan Fernandez. One more game coming up after this one: Quimsa and Hebraica Maccabi, 10:10 p.m. local time, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight in the U.S. Gabriel Galvanini back to his dark brown hair color. I don't know. That blonde was working for him. He put up 20 and 24 points against Obras with that blonde hair in the quarters. I maybe would have kept that.
Yeah, he must not be superstitious, because I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was like, oh, I wouldn't change that.
Well, maybe he's got the same underwear on or something.
Well, we're about to start.
Ball's in the air, and we are underway. Flamengo controls on the outset. Here's Balbi. Outside to Deodato. Thought about the 3. Shot clock at 10. Kicked it out, but his pass was tipped by Bejarano into the Flamengo bench. Deodato chased out near half court. Shot clock below 5. Gets it over to Galvanini for 3. Nope. But the offensive rebound taken by Balbi. He scores in and puts it in off the glass. And Flamengo gets on the board first.
Defensively, Halcones was trying to force the ball handlers to the right there. Maybe we'll get a look at this. We call this isolating the screen. As the screen will come up from the middle, they'll try to funnel. And I don't remember if Balbi, I know when Deodato had the ball, they were trying to force him right. We'll see with Balbi if it's the same.
Balbi now trying to direct traffic. Get it to Luzada. Luzada leads with that off arm and gets called for the charge.
That's veteran right there. On the part of Stoll, that is.
Yeah. And then you see after the play, Stoll and Jordan Glenn communicating. Again, this is only their 3rd game together, and Halcones is not in season in the Mexican League. So playing against a different opponent is a little bit foreign for them. Nice feed underneath Stoll. No look pass out to Glenn and to Bejarano, and now tried to get it to Maho Basic, and it was ripped out of there. Galvanini on the block against Giron. One-hand pass to Luzada. Now Deodato from the corner. That missed. But there for the putback. Manfio couldn't get it to go. Out of bounds, and it's going to be Halcones' ball. Boy, I don't know how that
mistake
opportunity.
Yeah,
for
mistake
Flamengo.
On both of those.
Yeah,
you got to get a box out on there on defense to not let that rebound happen. And then on that rebound, you got nobody around you. You got to stick that right back in off the window and get back on defense at that point. But he was fighting for the rebound because he missed.
Stoll gets it to Maho Basic, has his shot blocked by Galvanini. Here comes Flamengo back the other way. Deodato with the left hand off the glass and in. Two minutes and 15 seconds into the game, and Halcones has not scored yet. Now Halcones gets on the board. Balbi draws the foul.
Are they counting that basket? I don't know.
I thought the bump occurred on the drive and not the shot.
There we go. Okay,
yeah, no, they didn't count that.
I'll say that's a heck of a continuation for sure.
Yeah. Luzada's got it. Hangs in the lane. Gets past Maho Basic. Couldn't get the tip in. Manfio, he's 0 for 2 on seemingly easy tip-ins here. That 3 from the wing, no good by Giron. Pardon, that was Bejarano. That was out of bounds, and it'll stay with Halcones. It's going to be stolen inbound, guarded by Balbi. Andrew, do you like guarding the inbound pass, or is it situational?
I mean, I can think of, I would say probably, I have to really think about the situations. More than likely, I'm guarding the pass. I can imagine there's some situations where I might not. On an underneath out of bounds, I don't think there's a time I'm not going to guard it. Full court, something like that, I might get off the full quarter sideline. I might get off the player because they're not going to hurt me. Underneath, they can step right in and they're under the basket. So if I'm not there.
Galvanini with the left hand off the glass, and he's got his first 2 points. 6.5 minutes to play, first quarter. Jordan Glenn's been quiet so far, and that was just Galvanini's first bucket. The big guns for both teams, relatively silent early. And now Giron loses it under the bucket. Mahal Basic gets it. And did they call that an offensive foul? I saw an official signal with his elbow.
Yeah, he had to clear out there with his right elbow. He didn't really have anywhere to go. I mean, you don't want to foul, though. That's what kind of... If you're going to turn the ball over in that situation, you'd rather save the foul to step out of bounds. Not that he was thinking of that when he was trying to get back up into the scoring position.
Just inside 6 minutes to play in this first quarter, a total of 8 points so far. Neither team looking particularly sharp offensively. Halcones has only taken 3 shots.
Yeah, Flamengo is definitely the sharper looking team, but that last shot not great, and then those 2 missed layups were off good action where they got a rebound and then just missed. They've also had 2 rebounds the very first play of the game and another one where they got the little floaters just like that. And
boy, it looked like Balby was expecting Galvanini to go up for the alley-oop there. Instead, Galvanini caught it flat-footed and went right back up with it, and it's an 8-2 lead for Flamengo. Last possession, Glenn had a good look from 3. It would not fall, and now Glenn fouled.
I might force feed Glenn a little bit right now if I was Halcones, because he can kind of carry my team. Yeah, we got Devon Jefferson just checking in, and last time we saw him, I thought he was like a 24-year-old out there.
Jefferson instead 37 years old. He had 14 points against Nacional in the quarters.
And it wasn't, you'd have to see the game. Of course, the points, I think, maybe a little better than his normal production, but I think he had like a charge, maybe a charge or a block, and then had a couple of clutch rebounds and some free throws at the end of that game. He really kind of put the game away.
So Alexis Elsener hits the first free throw. He's a 62.5% free throw shooter in this tournament. And if you're Halcones and the shots aren't falling, hey, try to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, those free throws, the good thing about them, they're free. You see here how they're forcing the right side of the
elapsed. Stoll guarding Luzada, and now stolen away by Jefferson. Outside to Elsener. He drives, left hand off the window and in. Pretty drive for Alexis Elsener. And lead just 2. And now, Balby draws the foul.
Elsener can't. They just got away with 2 fouls, and then and then he just keeps going. It's once you know you've kind of fouled, and he was the second person to have fouled before he actually did foul, or before it was whistled. You got to lay off. If I know I've gotten a couple of bumps there that didn't get called to me, I'm getting away from the ball handler.
Outside to Balby. Ins at the free throw line. No good. And a foul. on the rebound. I believe that's going to be on Devon Jefferson. Devon Jefferson from Linwood, California. Southern Cal 2008 All Pac-10 honorable mention. First team All Freshman team. Korean Player of the Year in 2014. Russian MVP in 2012. Israeli Super League Sixth Man of the Year in 2009. An All-Star in Turkey in 2017. So Devon Jefferson is as accomplished as anybody out there. Offensive rebound by Luzada. He spins and misses. Jefferson the rebound. Flamengo 4 of 15 from the floor in this game. Halcones 2 of 6. Ooh.
Yeah.
We both had the same reaction to that shot.
Bonk is not really a sound you want to hear when you shoot a basketball.
One of those where you say, easy, fellas, there's only one backboard at that end. 3:20 to play first quarter. Jefferson, the turnaround right hand shot won't go. And at this pace, with this kind of scoring, Andrew, do you think it benefits either team?
No, I think, hang on, I'll finish that thought as soon as I see what we got going on here.
See Bejarano talking to the official about the offensive player using the arm to clear out. Foul was on Halcones.
I'm going to say the slower pace probably benefits Halcones. I think Flamengo a little bit better at running. Just to name one matchup, if you look at Galvanini and Maho Basic, who's better at getting up and down the floor and rim running? You know, I think that goes to Galvanini. Obviously, your guards are going to be able to run and everything like that. Jordan Glenn does find some success in transition, so I guess that's one spot where Halcones might like some opportunities to run, but they're going to want those off of, you know, a nice defensive stop. Glenn's frustrated he's not getting the ball.
Machado hit 1 of 2 free throws. Now Devon Jefferson working on Galvanini. Nice move to the rack, but it won't fall.
Halcones is lucky to only be down 3 right now.
Yeah. That three-pointer rattles in. Martin Cuello, 32% shooter. The first 3 ball for Flamengo. Lead back to 6, matches the biggest of the game. Cubion answers at the other end. Deodato misses the 3, and now Halcones running. Elsener. Ooh, benefit. Gets the benefit of the whistle there because he lost it off his leg. Well, that's because Machado reached in.
Yeah, you got fouled. Come on.
I love watching Devon Jefferson play, man. He just works. Never gets too high, never gets too low. He just works. As Elsener misses the first free throw. Short on the second one as well. Inside 2 minutes to play first quarter. Flamengo by 3. A very poor shooting first quarter for both of these clubs. Right now, Halcones 3 of 9 from the floor for 33%. Flamengo 5 of 17 for 29%. Both teams 1 of 4 from the arc. Nice effort by Elsener to try to save that one after getting his hand on it, but it'll stay with Flamengo. 18 on the shot clock.
You mentioned Jefferson. He's a guy that I probably want on my team. If you haven't been around a lot of basketball, you may look at the stat sheet, and some players fill the stat sheet up and they're the greatest players ever. But there's guys that, and again, he gets stats too, as we see that three-pointer, I believe there. He's going to get stats, but even on a night where he doesn't get stats on the sheet, he's going to do stuff for your team that helps you win. Setting screens, boxing out, even if the ball doesn't come to him on the box out, he's keeping his guy out of there. So, like you said, tough-nosed guy.
Just had the offensive rebound there, but then lost it, and now Flamengo loses it out of bounds. So it'll be Halcones ball after the three-pointer by Guy Deodato. You do not want Guy Deodato to get hot because he is a streaky three-point shooter, and if he hits a couple, he will just absolutely torture you from outside. So Galvanini gets his first rest. Shot clock at 6. Bejarano. Free throw line, spinning, shooting. Off the window, no. Rebound Deodato. Inside of a minute to play, first quarter. Cubion hounding Deodato. Those guys have gone at it for a long time. That long deuce is good for Deodato, and here he comes. Actually, they're going to say that was a 3. Biggest lead of the game now for Flamengo, 19-8. Beg your pardon, 18-9. Slightly dyslexic there. Now Cubion from 16. That's good. Now the team's starting to heat up a little bit. Shot clock off, game clock at 15. Flamengo playing for the final shot of the quarter. Deodato guarded by Bejarano. Now picked up by Jefferson. Deodato shoots it over Jefferson, and Guy Deodato gets hot at the end of the first quarter, and it's a 21-11 lead. Flamengo. Guy Deodato, 9 points. 3 of 5 from outside. Like I said, you do not want to let him get hot. See them fixing the net at that end because Deodato just torched it. Look at the shooting numbers. Not really stellar, although now Flamengo 4 of 7 from three-point range after starting off 1 of 4. Those in part, largely in part to Guy Deodato. As we roll the first quarter highlights, looking at the individual numbers. For Halcones, David Cubion, 5 points. Alexis Elsener, 4. Devon Jefferson had 3 rebounds. Rashid Mahalbasit, 2 points. Jordan Glenn only took 2 shots and did not score in that first quarter. For Flamengo, Martin Cuello, 3 points. Guy Deodato, 9. Scott Machado, 1. Franco Balbi, 2. Gabriel Galvanini, 4. Didi Luzada, 2. Flamengo 40% overall from the floor. Halcones 31%, 4 of 13. And if it were not for a hot Guy Deodato at the end of that first quarter, we'd probably have about a 12-11 game right now at the end of one.
Yeah, them getting it going is the kind of lead that they should have. A lot of missed opportunities. And I think those first quarter statistics, most importantly, just go to show that my eye test is better than any statistical analysis there is out there. For now, in the first quarter.
Well, and if I may pat myself on the back, I did say prior to the start of the game, you do not want Guy Deodato to get hot.
Yes.
And that's just what
also
he did.
Accurate.
So we start quarter number 2. Flamengo leading by 10, their biggest lead of the game. Elsener, the one-hand hanger in the lane, and did he travel? Yes, he did. Backcourt pressure by Halcones, mostly for show. As Pedro Fernandez picks up Scott Machado. Now Cubion on Deodato. They don't want to let him breathe, but he gets to the rack and lays it in. The lead is 12. Deodato's got 11. Trying to get Jefferson in the post. He's guarded by Devon Scott. Jefferson back outside. Long two on the way, no, but a foul called on the shot. And so Pedro Fernandez will go to the free throw line.
We'll see. I don't know if they'll show this replay, but Jefferson has the ball down low, takes a couple dribbles. The person guarding Fernandez digs. That's what the guard will do to try to get the post player to pick up the ball. And they do, but then Fernandez does what he's supposed to do. He relocates, moves to a different spot in the three-point line, in this case out to the corner. Now then Jefferson, quick kick out to the shooter. That forces the defender to get back, and in this case, foul Fernandez, who gets some shots here.
So the shot by Fernandez in the corner on which he was fouled was a three-point attempt, so he hits all three free throws. And the lead back to 9. Machado driving right side, gave it up to Scott, and he goes down.
Now, you've heard me mention Halcones on defense, forcing Deodato. Was this Deodato this time? No, this was Machado. But anybody has been up there, they've been forcing them right. This time, Flamengo didn't have anybody on the right side. Therefore, no defenders for Halcones for help. And so that's why he was able to get so deep to the rim. There was a player running through right there at the end that kind of forced Machado to get rid of it. But just something interesting, if Halcones is going to keep pressuring them to go right, I would potentially try that and see if I can just clear out the right side, take the right, and then, you know, with a Deodato, I could get down on the block and back somebody in.
Scott hits both free throws to make it an 11-point game. Now Jefferson outside to Elsener for three. No. Offensive rebound. Fabian Jaimes. Big rebound by Jaimes there. Now a three-point attempt. I believe that was Cubion, and that is good. Cubion now with 8.
Great possession there. The first shot was good ball movement, and then the rebound to get a second chance shot that they make.
How about the veteran David Cubion, the captain, 36 years old from Venezuela. And we've talked about it several times throughout the course of this tournament, how impressive it is when you get a player from another country who's the captain on your team. It shows the amount of respect the coach and the players have for him. Cubion from Venezuela. Been watching him play for a long time in the Americas. Now Machado thought about the three. Stepped inside after leaving Tater Fernandez in the dust and hits the pull-up J. Leads back to 10.
It's time for the aspiring hoopsters note. That move there, a nice shot fake with a one dribble pull-up to the mid-range, that can be successful at any level. So if you're still playing, heck, even if you're a weekend warrior just playing on, you know, Saturday mornings, get that in your game.
I like that, the aspiring player's notebook. Cubion, he was right. Now to Fabian Jaimes. Not sure that's the shot they wanted right there.
The other quick note about that shot fake, you don't have to be very fast because your guy, if you do it correctly, is up in the air. So you just got to be smooth. That's a move that I could pull off, and I'm not a fast guy.
Luzada strikes. I did not see the second arm go up for a three-point attempt, but they did score it as a three. And the lead is now 13, 30-17. And Paco almost takes his first timeout. And Andrew, I'm a little surprised that this is the first timeout of the game. And it'll be interesting to hear what Paco almost has to say.
Pass, pass. And we don't arrive never. ¿Está claro? Necesitamos poner un poquito más de oposición al balón. Un poco más de manos al balón. They don't play cable one-on-one. They want to freeze. They want to freeze.
Let's go, guys.
They want to freeze. In offense, if we play dynamic, they don't arrive. Post up, boom, short corner, here. Off screen, deny, second. Last pick and roll Spain is good, but always in the pick and roll. This guy, boom, for second pass. Okay?
Let's go, guys.
I feel like I caught most of that, actually.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Andrew Hunt, down 13 points. What do you think about Paco's message?
Well, to answer your first question about the timeouts, I'm okay with the timeouts because the Flamengo really came out in the last minute or two of the first quarter and really stretched that lead. It wasn't really too bad until then. So you get the timeout at the break to kind of regroup and test everything out or talk about things. And then now things are just a little bit worse. But yeah, he's talking about, you see the pick and roll here. And then the short corner is where Glenn is right now. And then he was mentioning your second pass. What I wasn't sure if he was talking about your second pass should go to that short corner. That's a spot where a lot of guys might want to kind of post up. You might have a shot there. Short corner, obviously we all know where the corner is on the three-point line. Short corner would be about right between the block and the three-point line. That's short corner. So that's a spot that in most professional leagues, one of the more kind of mobile guys, could be a large guard or a small forward type player, 6'8". They're going to kind of post up there because they can either dribble and back down a defender. They can kind of face the basket and kind of give a jab. And, if your defender doesn't have a hand up, some guys will give you a quick jab and go up with that and get the shot. So it's a pretty good position because you can shoot a high percentage shot from there and get to the basket in one dribble. So you have a lot of options. The defender has to really play defense there.
Second free throw misses for Maho Basic. That'll be the left-hand drive. That is good.
Good.
Now a three-pointer missing. Rebound pulled down. And here comes Flamengo looking to extend their biggest lead of the game at 14. Scott hands it off to Machado. Now pulls up in front of Maho Basic. No good. Rebound by Halcones. Here's Elsener from the corner. And one. Boy, it almost looked a little bit like that official from the corner was coming out and calling a charge. But that absolutely was a foul on Yvonne Scott. And that is what was called.
Yep. I think if he just doesn't
Scott
move
will
it's a
sit
no.
down. Yeah, you might be right. So Elsener, 62.5% from the free throw line. He's 2 of 4 in this game. Misses the free throw, and so it's a 12-point lead for Flamengo. Jordan Glenn, still 0 points, just 3 shots. Paul Cole, only 1 shot, no point. And there for the easy putback, Gabriel Galvanini, he's got 6.
I know Glenn's last shot I liked. The one shot from Stoll was either at the end of the shot clock or just kind of he wanted to shoot the ball. It wasn't off great action.
Oh, Didi Luzada from the left side goes up and jacks it. Boy, that left the Halcones bench looking for answers. And when you can get a 14-point lead with Galvanini only having 6 points, Flamengo's got to like where they're sitting now as Maho Basic can't handle that pass. Now Balbi the behind the back dribble, fouled by Paul Stoll. That's one of those where Stoll's like, oh, he beat me with that dribble, so I'm going to have to grab him.
That's where if I'm his teammate, I say good foul.
Yep.
That's code for you were about to get beat. Good foul.
Luzada gets the loose ball back. Galvanini hands it to Balbi. His shot won't go. And now Fernandez pulls up for three. I don't know if that's the shot you want there. Trailing by 14 and a fast break opportunity. Balbi into the corner. Back to Deodato. He's picked up by Bejarano. Now to Galvanini, picks it up off his foot. Little bounce pass to Carlos Olivia. Now Deodato for three. That one missed. Rebound grabbed by Fernandez. 4:15 to play second quarter. Don't forget, one more semifinal coming up tonight. After this one, 10:10 p.m. local time, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Timsa and Hebraica Maccabi, and what a titanic upset. Hebraica Maccabi over Franca in the quarters. Bejarano for three. And now Gustavo Conti wants timeout.
Halcones has shown a little bit of life, but overall, they just, right now, I'm not saying they're out of it. We still got a whole nother half and what, 4 minutes here to play in this half. But as of just right now, what I've seen so far, they do not look like the team that's going to compete to win this game. They're being outflanked by Flamengo on defense and offense. A lot of things too, even away from the ball, that hasn't resulted in a turnover. They're just kind of being sloppy with the ball. Like, they'll get a pass and just kind of drop it. Like I said, they haven't really turned it over maybe a couple times on some stuff like that. But that's just something where I'm questioning how prepared you are if you can't even look the ball in on an open pass coming up the floor. And you got to go re-grab it.
Well, Andrew, we talked about that earlier on, and it was something that Paco Olmos mentioned even coming into this game, is that Halcones is not in season in the Mexican League, and so their games are just their on-floor experience right now is just practice against yourself. And so they may have some ring rust.
Yeah, it's actually a really great point. Man, I don't know. Not really familiar. If would you try to? Is there any rule against doing like an exhibition game? Could you try to find a team like, listen, I need to play somebody, but then you also risk you don't want to injure anybody.
Yeah. Exactly. Stoll with a little pressure in the backcourt on Deodato. Here comes the double. That three missed. Maho Basic the rebound. See if Halcones can get it to under 10 as we approach 3.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Maho Basic, little bounce pass underneath to Garone. Misses the reverse layup. They had a pretty play designed there. Balbi kicks out. Three on the way for Deodato. Splash! Deodato, 14 points. The lead is back to 14,
he's
and that's
throwing it
a
up, and
5-point swing right there.
Any opportunities he has, he's shooting. And if I'm on his team, I want him to. I mean, his shot selection has been pretty good. I'd almost say great shot selection. There's been 2 times where he had one time I remember he had Devon Jefferson on him, and he kind of tested him to see if he was going to come out and guard him.
Carlos Olivilla, the 40-year-old. He will be 41 in 5 days. It's just his second three-pointer on the tournament. He was 1 of 6 prior to that shot. Now Bejarano fouled. Dalby didn't like the call. We can get a look at it here. Definitely contact. I'm not sure what Dalby was complaining about.
Now, at the risk of looking too far ahead, if you're Flamengo right now, I don't know in the second quarter if I'm doing this, but they might be a little bit. I start thinking about, hey, we play again tomorrow. If I can, not play full minutes on my starters.
It's way too early to talk about that in this one. Although the lead is 14. It was 15 just a moment ago, biggest of the game, before Bejarano hit that free throw. Second one falls in as well. But when Carlos Olivella starts putting up three-pointers and hitting them, it might be your night. Now Manfio kicks out. Olivella again! That time he missed. Rebound, Luzada off the square, no. Boy, we were just talking about Halcones getting the lead to single digit. And then in the blink of an eye, it got back up to 15. Basic gets fouled. Not sure who they called that on. It was Caio Manfio. So Maho Basic to the free throw line. He's 1 of 3 in this game. He was 10 of 12 coming into this one. That one falls out. Second free throw, no good, but did they call a lane violation? They did. So Maho Basic will get another look at it. Maho Basic takes advantage and hits the second free throw.
If I'm Halcones, I'm telling the ref to be quiet. I was like, don't tell him when to get off the block.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're going to step in and let us shoot again. Let them.
Now Maho Basic draws the foul and then pats the official on the shoulder.
I have the same thing when I've been coaching, and the ref is telling a player, whatever, hands off or whatever, or hey, you got to get out. I was like, blow the whistle. That'll teach them. Don't tell them to stop doing something. Call a foul on them or violation or whatever the case may be. Oh, my goodness.
Olivella, the tough shot after the pretty pass. He's got 5.
Twinkle toes Olivella.
Yeah. Stoll gets it back. Thought about the 3, but Olivella closed. Got to be a mismatch somewhere then. Now Glenn, shot clock at 5. Shoots over the double.
Somebody's got to call the help.
Yeah, Manfio came over at 6'6" and put his arm straight up. Glenn did not have a good look at it.
It's nice.
Now Manfio at the other end missing the three-pointer. That three-pointer missed. Man, Halcones 3 of 11 from three-point range. Jordan
see
Lynn's
here,
got 5 rebounds, but no points. 0 of 4 shooting.
Glenn
now
shading
0 for 2
right.
from the field. Manfio, splash! (47-30). Biggest lead of the game.
I'm confused on many levels on that shot. You see here, shading to the right. Here comes
now
your screen.
5. Hesitation, fade away. No. Rebound Manfio, but he could not get it back up until the first half will come to an end with Flamengo on top by 17. Just woeful shooting by Halcones in this first half.
Well, and that last shot, just to explain, didn't end up too bad, in hindsight. But there was about 17 seconds left. Mahal Basic takes the first 3 that he sees, not his shot. And it's like they probably could have run the quarter out if not gotten really close. I wasn't aware exactly what the shot clock was, but game clock at 17.
You get a look at the team numbers. Halcones, 9 of 27 overall for 33%, 3 of 11 from the arc, 9 of 14 from the free throw line. Flamengo, they stepped it up after the first 8 minutes of the first quarter. They're at 46%, 18 of 39 overall, 8 of 16 from three-point range, 3 of 4 from the stripe. Flamengo plus 5 in rebound, 24-19 as we look at the individual numbers on this one. For Halcones de Xalapa, as we roll the highlights, Daniel Bejarano, 5 points. Jordan Glenn, 15 minutes of action, no points. 0 for 4 from the field, 5 rebounds. Asid Mahalbasic, 8 points. All stole, no points. 0 of 2 shooting. David Cubigan, 8 points. Alexis Elsener, 6. Taylor Fernandez, 3. And that's it. That's the scoring for Halcones de Xalapa. For Flamengo, Martin Cuello, 3 points. Didi Luzada, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Scott Machado has 3. Kyle Manfio has 3. Manfio also 4 rebounds. Carlos Olivia, 5 points, 1 of 2 from three-point range. As we look at 3 of Guy Deodato's points. Franco Balbi had 4. Deodato leads all scorers with 14 on 5 of 10 shooting in the first half. He was 4 of 8 from the arc. Gabriel Galvanini, 6 points, 6 rebounds. And Devon Scott, 2 points, 3 boards for Flamengo. Flamengo outscores Halcones in that second quarter, 26-19. And all those numbers add up to a 47-30 lead for Flamengo at halftime. Flamengo 20 minutes away from a date in the finals, but Halcones will not go quietly into this good night. If I may wax poetic for a moment. Andrew Hunt, your thoughts on the first half and what Halcones can do in the second to try to get back into this one?
Well, not to just step all over your wax, but I don't know that they're. I don't know that I'm confident they are going to do anything to come back on this one. Like I said, they just are looking real sluggish, and Flamengo is looking, after that 8-minute mark, which, by the way, I believe they had about 9 points there. So in 12 minutes, they put 38 points on the board. That's a pretty good scoring clip there over a 12-minute time period. Much to thank to that guy right there, Deodato. But just they're going to have to look a lot better and play better defense in the second half. I'm not sure. I mentioned, and they were consistent with it pretty much the entire first half, of kind of forcing to that right side. I don't know that that's getting them what they want. maybe it's eliminating. You know, we don't know what it's eliminating because they've been doing it. So I can't know if the other team got to the left side what kind of they're cutting out by doing that. So maybe they still feel that what they're getting right now is better than the alternative. But I'm not feeling real great about what they're getting out of that defensive strategy as it stands. So I like Flamengo right now.
Easy to like them when they're up by 17 at half.
Right. Exactly what I thought. I like the team that's in the lead by a lot.
That's right. Uh, and you look at up and down the numbers here. The other thing that strikes me is Flamengo has taken 12 more shots than Halcones. Not to mention the 8 of 16 shooting performance from beyond the arc. So Halcones is going to have to find some offense in the second half. And they're going to have to slow down that man right there, Guy Deodato, but also waiting in the wings, Gabriel Galvanini. He's got just 6 in the first half, and we know he can explode as well. Again, the score at halftime, Flamengo 47, Halcones de Xalapa 30. First game of the semifinals of the 2024 BCL Americas Final Four. Coming up after this one at 10:10 p.m. local time, it's going to be Kimsa against Tabrika Maccabi. And we will bring that to you. Alongside Andrew Hunt, I'm Craig Fada. Thanks for watching the first half. We are back in a few moments with the second half live from Santiago del Estero. Welcome back to Estadio Ciudad in Santiago del Estero, Argentina, for the first of two semifinal games tonight in BCL America's Final Four play. Alongside Andrew Hunt, my name is Craig Fada. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you're tuned in from around the Americas or around the world. In the USA on the FanDuel TV platform, in South America on DirecTV, and around the rest of the world on the BCL America's YouTube channel. Coming out of halftime, Flamengo of Brazil leading Halcones de Xalapa of Mexico 47-30. And Andrew Hunt, if I'm Flamengo, I'm expecting Halcones to come at me with all guns blazing out of this opening moments of the third quarter. And if you can withstand this without letting Halcones getting too close, you may take their best shot and be able to cruise the rest of the way.
Well, it's great that they have a nice cushion they built up of 17 points. So if I'm Flamengo, you're right, I'm expecting that. But I'm just going to kind of probe and not try to do anything too fast. That's an okay shot there. I kind of wished he would have just gone right to the basket. But, yeah, I'm just going to kind of see what they give me. And all I got to do is find some holes to find some opportunities to score, and I win the game. That's the great thing about being in the driver's seat. You don't have to do too much, just play your game.
Hirano drives, and he draws the foul. So if you're Halcones, I don't know, you either attack the bucket every time like this and try to get to the free throw line and score with the clock stop, or you force feed Jordan Glenn and make him shoot it from wherever he's at in the gym, regardless of how many people are on him. The Hirano launches the long deuce, and that is good. Oh my goodness, they call that a three? It looked like both feet
definitely thought
over the line.
Right.
And then answering at the other end, Kyle Manfio. Gets it right back to 17. And Stoll hounded by Galvanini. Galvanini gets whistled for the foul, just his first. And a relatively quiet game for Galvanini, as we've said so far, but that's a good thing, because if Halcones comes storming back, you can always turn to Galvanini to kind of catch on fire. Plus, he's not taxing himself too much in advance of a potential championship game tomorrow night, as we are looking at an official review here.
Yeah, they're not missing his scoring by any means. So towards the end of the game, if I've still got a lead, I might try to get him some looks just to get him to see the ball go in a few times. But as a professional player, if my team is, winning without me putting baskets in, I'm just going to focus on, let me just grab some rebounds here, try to get some assists or whatever, set a nice screen, and look for my opportunities that way.
That review, Andrew, I think may have been a review of that shot that counted for 3 points, because it looked like they signaled to where that shot was made and then held up 2 fingers.
And there you see just another example, just lose the ball, lost the ball out of bounds. That's what I was talking about in the first half, that I saw a good amount of that didn't necessarily result in turnovers, but
actually they took a point away from Halcones. So it's 50-32. Deodato misses. Hirano the rebound. So the lead is 18. Boy, Halcones just having trouble getting anything to go in. Just 33% from the field overall. Now here's Bejarano into the corner for Glynn for three. Splash! Jordan Glynn gets his first 3 points of the game. See if that gets Jordan Glynn to catch on fire as Maho Basic with the kick save out of bounds. It'll stay with Flamengo. Dado sits down, Machado comes on. Zada for three. Oh, somehow Balby snuck in there and stole the rebound. It's three Halcones flat-footed in the paint.
Man. That possession is a perfect example of what I'm saying. When I see Halcones, I just don't. Just stuff isn't really going their way. And then you see here they slip out.
How about that play by Daniel Bejarano?
That went their way.
Stole. Blows out a tire, gets it back to Bejarano. Bejarano goes up and around Galvanini, and that's the second foul on Gabriel Galvanini. And Bejarano will try to complete the three-point play to make the lead just 12. And he does. Still plenty of time, 6:50 to play, third quarter. Galvanini getting it back to Balby. Oh, they left. Yeah, they left Didi Luzada wide open. He cut in from the wing. And Didi Luzada may never see an easier bucket than that. Cubigan. Basic for three. Nope. Rebound Glenn. Now Bejarano for three. That's good. He's down to 11. Glenn, yes!
Oh boy.
Jordan Glenn cuts it to 8 with his second three-pointer. He's got 6 now. And now Halcones with a little spring in their step. Galvanini, the quick spin move, but he travels.
Oh.
Is that what I saw? There's the dunk by Luzada.
Okay.
Oh, they called Cubican for a foul. I thought he shuffled the feet when he spun. Now Balby gives it up to Galvanini. He draws the foul. That's a good foul by Maho Basic. Because Galvanini was about to absolutely destroy that rim. You could almost hear Galvanini winding up going, ugh!
That's another spot where we say good foul.
Yep.
If I'm Galvanini, I'm saying that in the air. I'm like, good foul. Because the same as you just said. I was like, yeah, I was about to dunk on your head. Good foul.
Galvanini hits the first free throw. Now with 7 points, 7 boards. Make it 8 points. Lead back to double digit. But Halcones has some life. Glenn hands off to Cubion. Back between the rings. Over to Glenn. Shot clock at 10. And Halcones turns it over. Balbi ends up with it. Got it to Galvanini, and now here's Machado. Galvanini, jumper. Nice recovery by Halcones. Bejarano, he goes around Machado. Now Stoll over to Cubion. His three-pointer, you can tell that was offline. Galvanini, another rebound. That's his 8th. And a whistle away from the ball. Looks like was it Manfio that had either a uniform or a blood issue? Couldn't quite tell. If you're Halcones and you can keep it to around 10, ideally get it under 10 heading into the fourth, you're in pretty good shape considering you were down 18. Now Balbi. Shot clock at 5. Balbi gets it all the way to the rack himself. Can't get the reverse. Lynn, another rebound. That's his 8th. Stoll to his right. Over to Glenn. Ooh, that pass nearly intercepted. Stoll for 3. No. Rebound. Glenn in the putback.
Glenn is earning his paycheck right now.
Yes, sir. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Jordan Glenn. The lead is 8. Balbi trying to shake Bejarano and can't. Great defense by Daniel Bejarano. Now here comes Devon Scott shooting up over Maho Basic, no good. Rebound tipped by Cubion to Jordan Glenn. Boy, a 3 here, and I'm calling timeout if I'm Gustavo Conti. Stoll.
That's what you want. That's what you want right there.
Shoots it up over Cuello, and it falls in. And there is the timeout by Conti. Glenn all of a sudden catches fire. He's got 10 points. And the lead is down to 6.
Oh, I mentioned earlier, that's that short corner area. You could call it the extended post. That's where he catches the ball, and he did exactly what I talked about earlier. Faces up, kind of sizes up the defender. If I look at the defender and they're flat-footed, you know, I can just go up with a quick shot like that. That's what he does. He gets the friendly bounce. That was a heck of a friendly bounce. And the basket drops. And they're in the game now. It's a ball game.
For as bad as they shot up to this point, it's about time they got some friendly bounces. Halcones now up to 41% overall. Still just 6 of 19 from the arc. Flamengo actually shooting worse now, 40.8%. Although they are still 9 of 20 from three-point range for 45%. This is a 16-4 run by Halcones to get back into this one. As we get another look at that Didi Luzada dunk. Ever since that dunk, though, it's been all Halcones.
Well, and I think as Jordan Glenn goes, so does Halcones. He had, did we say, 0 in the first half?
Yeah, he had 0 halfway through the third quarter as well.
So he's the difference really in that lead. A little more than his points, but they were down 17 now down 6. So his 8 points is a big chunk of that.
Glenn started out 0 for 4. He's hit his last 4 consecutive shots, 2 of which have been 3-pointers.
And the last few shots he's gotten have been good looks. They've been quality shot attempts. I'm missing the 4th, but I know he had an in transition 3 where he's wide open, pull up shot. He had right after that he had a tip in, and then the last shot that we saw was that nice little post up action where he turned. I'm missing his 4th basket.
That's okay.
Well, no, if he has 8. Yeah.
Scott lost his footing as the shot clock expired. Glenn for 3. That's good!
Oh!
Jordan Glenn has Halcones back to within 3. 2:35 to play, 3rd quarter. 19-4 run. Flamengo misses again. Cubian. Guarded by Deodato. Glenn handing it back to Cubian. Shot clock at 7. Glenn around the screen for 3. Makes it in and we're tied!
Jordan Glenn is out of his head right now.
16 points in the 3rd quarter, and Halcones have come all the way back. Deodato with the answer to put Flamengo back up by 3. Deodato now with 17. Jordan Glenn 16 points, all of them in the 3rd quarter. 6 of 6 from the floor in this period. Glenn finally missing. 1:20 to play in 3rd quarter.
If you're Flamengo too, other than that last shot, well, not the last shot, but the shot that he banked for a 3, that was the only shot that I'd say they were playing decent defense on him. So they've just let him take Halcones back into the game here by not playing great defense.
Now Machado scores on the easy bucket on the same kind of look that resulted in Didi Luzada's dunk a few moments ago, and now Paco almost wants timeout. But we've got ourselves a ball game. Halcones tied it up at 54, but now Flamengo on a 5-0 run. My goodness. Halcones looked absolutely dead in the water halfway through this period. You'd think, man, there's no way. They just didn't seem to have any spring. They were a step slow. They were missing everything. And then all of a sudden, Jordan Glenn puts on his cape and says, I got you, boys. Let's go.
Paco had some WD-40 in at the locker room at halftime.
I don't know about WD-40, maybe some propane.
Oh, I meant the rust.
That was
He's getting the rust off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that too. But how big was that 3-point answer by Guy Deodato?
Yeah, I mean, again, if I'm Flamengo, I'm just talking about how did you just let Jordan Glenn get them back in the game? That's essentially what's happened. He scored, 18 of 20 points or something like that in the 3rd quarter? He scored a lot.
Yeah, 16. Malabasic.
Yeah, that's too much for one
off
guy.
to Bejarano. Bejarano hangs and hits. Lead back down to 3. 45 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Machado hounded by Bejarano. Bejarano's played great defense in this game, as has Paul Stoll.
Ooh, that's Carey. Okay, yeah.
Oh, Guy Deodato turns it over. Let's get a look at it here. Oh, yeah.
Hand clearly under the ball there.
He carried it. He took about 5 steps. Now Stoll. Stoll still has not scored, only taken 3 shots. Glynn for 3. That's good! And we are tied again at 59. Jordan Glynn with 19 points, all of them in this third quarter. What a performance! Game clock down to 4, and now a whistle as Deodato gets fouled. And Paul Stoll says, we're good. Stoll, a veteran. He was hounding Deodato, did not want to give up that 3-point shot as Guy definitely sells that one. Got hit on the shoulder, threw his head back twice.
Almost
make
a
sure
full 3
everybody
quarters before. Just 4 seconds away from 3 whole quarters.
Well, that was the first time it happened.
Yeah, yeah. There we go.
Deodato into the backcourt. Oh, and Elstner stole it from Deodato. How crazy would that have been if that went in and counted? But we go to the fourth quarter, tied at 59. Glynn goes absolutely berserk in that third quarter, scores 19 points, gets 5 3-pointers. He was 7 of 8 overall from the floor in that quarter. And Halcones all of a sudden 20 of 4 overall from the floor, 45%. Now 41% from the arc, 9 of 22. 10 of 15 from the free throw line as we roll the highlights. Flamengo, 42% overall, 22 of 52. 10 of 21 for 47% from the arc, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Rebounds even at 29. Turnovers even at 7. Let's not miss Daniel Bejarano. He's got 15 points, 4 rebounds. David Cubion, 8 points. Alexis Elstner, 6. Again, Glynn, 19 points, all of them in that third quarter. He's also got 8 rebounds. Paul Stoll has not scored, but he's got 6 assists. Tater Fernandez, 3 points. Gabriel Giron has not scored. Devon Jefferson has not scored. Rastid Mahalbasic, 8 points, 4 rebounds. For Flamengo, Franco Balbi, 4 points. Martin Cuello, 3. Should mention that Balbi also has 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Guy Deodato, 17 points. Didi Luzada, 9 points, 5 boards. Scott Machado, 5. Gabriel Galvanini, 8 points, 9 rebounds. Kyle Manfio, 6 points, 5 boards. Carlos Olivinha, 5 points. And Devon Scott has 2. Halcones outscored Flamengo in that third quarter, 29-12. So we go to the fourth quarter, tied at 59. Welcome back in wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. In the USA on the FanDuel TV platform, in South America on DirecTV, and around the rest of the world on the BCL Americas YouTube channel as Rastid Mahalbasic gives Halcones their first lead of the game. And another turnover by Flamengo. Alongside Andrew Hunt, my name is Craig Fada. We thought Flamengo, with a 17-point lead at halftime, looked like they were going to cruise into the championship game. But Jordan Glynn and Paco Olmos and Daniel Bejarano said, no, we got something for you. And what we have here is a tremendous basketball game.
Mostly Jordan Glynn.
Don't discount Bejarano, 15 points. Maho Basic now with 10. That three-pointer, it's good! Bejarano!
I was saying, who made that, Craig?
Now. I was going to say, you were saying?
Just in the third quarter, it was mostly Glenn. Glenn got them back in the game. Bejarano's been playing solid all game, okay? That's what I meant. Wasn't taking any shine away from the boy. It is Glenn really caught fire there in the third and got him back in.
Flamengo again. I don't think they even got a shot off on that last possession. Now Maho Basic getting pushed by Galvanini. They're letting him play. Cubion high off the glass. That almost went in. Saved. Oh, Glenn now into the corner. Bejarano for three. Missed. Boy, I thought Galvanini would have been called for a foul with all the banging he was doing on Maho Basic at the other end. I mean, he was using that arm.
That looked like that might have been. Oh, that did get called a foul.
Yeah, that was a foul.
Right. I was like, okay, here's a foul. No, the tables have really turned here, and you can see now Halcones is the aggressor, and Flamengo is having a hard time getting right. Just absolutely changed from second through the third, now into the fourth.
Since Flamengo led by 18, Halcones has outscored them 32-9. As Deodato hits another three-pointer, he's got 20.
Yeah, they needed that.
Yeah, desperately. Cubion to Stoll. Shot clock at 8. Maho Basic mugged by Galvanini, no call. And the pass out intercepted. Balbi up ahead to Deodato, and a whistle before the shot. And Maho Basic very frustrated because Galvanini has just been all over him. And I don't see where the foul was called. They must have called it on Stoll on the spin move. But I didn't see much contact there. Second foul on Stoll, unless they're going to look at it. Again, our officials for this game, Julio Anaya, Andres Bartel, and Juan Fernandez, an outstanding crew. And not entirely certain what they're looking at here, unless they were reviewing that foul.
They wouldn't go as far back. You said Maho Basic was complaining. I mean, they wouldn't be. And it's not something.
No, I don't. I don't think they can go back and assess a foul. But the last two trips up the floor, Maho Basic was just absolutely being mugged by Gabriel Galvanini, and they did not whistle anything. Maho Basic was frustrated. I almost thought he committed the foul out of frustration, but he was nowhere near the play. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, there's the spin. Oh, and then after the play, there was a little contact between Stoll and Balbi, and of course Balbi throws the head back, and they are going to keep the foul on Stoll. I think that's a good call. Stoll definitely made contact after the spin and pass.
I agree. I concur, Craig.
Quoting one of my favorite movies, Catch Me If You Can.
Nice.
So now Maho Basic sits down, and that's probably a good thing because he was darn near a full boil. Balbi, the floater up over Jefferson. No! But there for the tip dunk, Gabriel Galvanini. Wow! Reminiscent of Dominique Wilkins. We are tied up at 64. Galvanini now with 10 points and 11 rebounds. And foul away from the ball as Kyle Manfio got tied up. Not sure if that was with Paul Stoll. Hero cams on Galvanini. That's because he's got a double-double, as we just mentioned. I believe that foul was on Manfio. Well, Andrew, Halcones was involved in a double overtime affair against Nacional in the quarterfinals in game 2. Maybe we'll see another.
Oh, what do we get here?
I mean, that was completely. I mean, there's no ill intent there, but Glenn got the shot fake. Manfio flew by. Oh, he didn't. That he stepped by, and Manfio was trying to go around him, and Glenn kind of stepped into where Manfio was trying to go around, and Manfio commits the foul. Glad nobody was hurt on that. It was just kind of comical looking.
But they're giving him the shot. That was.
Yeah. He was. Yeah, absolutely. If we replay it again, you'll see he was absolutely going up.
Oh, see, I thought he shot faked, got Manfio in the air, and then as he went to go to his right, that's where Manfio was going. And then
that's how I saw it.
There's definitely a foul on
too,
Manfio. I'm not debating.
That's how
the foul.
I saw it too.
100% a foul. I'm just debating on if it's a shot or not.
Well, that's how I saw it too initially.
Shots, correct?
Well, now I don't remember where his feet were. I'm not seeing it in my eye or in my mind.
They're giving him.
Okay, so it is 3. Okay. Yeah, when I first was describing the play and remembered it, I remembered it as a shot fake, and then he moved to let the defender go by, but he never shot faked. He just moved and then went up. That may have been the shot fake, but you can't tell intent. He was going up with the ball as if to shoot. Well, Glenn hits 2 of the 3 free throw attempts, and Flamengo turns it over. Stoll. 3 is up and good! Bejarano having himself a game. 4 of 7 games in double figures in this tournament. None bigger than this one, and the lead back to 5 for Halcones. But there on the drop is Deodato. Is that Deodato or is that Lusada? Yeah, that was Deodato. And did they get Stoll for the foul? If it is, that's going to be his 4th. That was not a good foul by Paul Stoll. So he's going to have to sit down, which, if you are a Halcones fan, you don't want to see that. Obviously, he hasn't contributed anything points-wise, but his veteran leadership out there, his 8 assists, and his defense. Deodato completes the 3-point play. It is 2. For Halcones, 6:15 to play. Bejarano into the corner for Glenn. Shot clock at 5. Bejarano gets it back. He launches the long 3. No good. Rebound. Oh, somehow Devon Jefferson got that in between a pair of Flamengo defenders. What a rebound by Devon Jefferson. Shot clock back down to 5. Bejarano behind the back has it stolen away. Balbi and Cubayan is whistled for the foul. Flamengo wants an unsportsmanlike there, but no. Cubayan got in front of the play and made a play for the ball. Well, no, I'm not so sure. He was off to the side, but he did reach across for the ball. I don't know about that one. And yeah, based on his expression, yep. That may be the right call. Again, as I
we've had
first
this
described the
discussion
play,
before.
I thought he got in front of him. He clearly did not.
Okay, I guess, yeah, we've talked about this before. I say if you're going for the ball, but I take your point, and I would say that's probably a good point of, if I'm on this, I have to get in front of him and go for the ball. But I've said in the past, if you're trying to foul, go for the ball, and then just come up with a little ball and a lot of arm.
That's exactly what he did, but the intent was to stop the play, and that's the definition of an unsportsmanlike. Because that was a fast break. If that were just like a common half-court piece, I think that may have just been a regular foul. But because it was a 2-on-1 fast break, I think you have to call the unsportsmanlike there. Now
Right.
Galvanini whistled for the foul on Elsener, as he about checks him into the VIP seats there. Man, Galvanini's been playing physical in this second half, and that's his third foul. Flamengo on top by 1. Back in the lead for the first time in a while. Cubion. That three is up and good! Cubion now with 11 points. And that's going to be a foul on Bejarano. So Balbi to the free throw line. He's 10 of 11 from the stripe coming into this one, 1 of 2 tonight. Strokes first and gets Flamengo back to within 1. He's got 1 more to come. The veteran Argentine lines up and drills the second. We are tied back up at 72 with 5 minutes to play. And now a whistle away from the ball as Bejarano ends up over the baseline. I believe that foul is going to be on Didi Lusada. Bejarano. Now Cubion. Here comes the screen by Jefferson. Jefferson gets it back out. Jefferson rolls. Elsener has it stripped on the way up by Galvanini. Great defensive play by Galvanini. And then at the other end for the layup, that's Franco Balbi, and he's got 11. Four and a half minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Cubion open for 3, and that is good.
What a difference. Second half to first. The first half to second, either way.
Oh my! John Scott. Wow. He's got 4 points now. 29-year-old American goes up and puts himself on a poster. Three missed. Got the rebound. Halcones now 13 of 30 from three-point range, 43%. Flamengo a robust 11 of 22 for 50%. Elsener tried to stay with Balbi and couldn't. I think Balbi, if they keep Elsener on him, I think Balbi can run away from him on every possession. And now Flamengo leads by 3 after that layup, and Paco wants a timeout. And he is hot.
Y cada vez más, y cada vez más. Él es el que va a jugar el fucking club. Hey, mucho tiempo, pretty good, man.
I believe he just told Elsener to keep Balbi in front of you. I think that's maybe the point of what that was.
1 minute. ¿Dónde está? Paul,
And I think he was cursing in 2 languages for
I
emphasis.
don't understand why, because Brazil the ball and we continue to play pick and roll. I think it's the moment the fucking post start. Fucking post start. Okay, easy. Eh? And we can post up, okay, we play opposite side, or we play 3, or we play the pick and roll. Pick and roll, remember, early pass, early to pass. Hey, be careful, hey, press break. Okay, now, Alexis, no, perdón, Gabón, David, Macapol, y aquí, así, vamos aquí.
Here's the tip dunk by Gabriel Galvanini, and then the last drive by Franco Balbi, which elicited the timeout by Paco Olmos, and the subsequent chewing of the hiney. Inside 3.5 minutes to play. Alongside Andrew Hunt, I'm Craig Fada. Hope you've been enjoying this one. This has been an entertaining second half. Halcones came back from 18 down to take the lead. They've led by as many as 5. Now Maho a good shot. And somebody from Halcones came into contact with the rim. Oh, that's going to be basket interference. Oh yeah, that was Jefferson got his hand in the net. Welcome to all our viewers in the USA on the FanDuel TV platform, in South America on the DirecTV satellite network, and around the rest of the world on the BCL America's YouTube channel. We've got one more game coming up after this one, the second semifinal between Kimsa and Hebraica Maccabi. 10:10 p.m. local time, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Nobody expected Hebraica Maccabi. Not sure anybody expected Hebraica to be in the quarterfinals, let alone the semis, after their massive, massive upset of Franca. Balbi hits the first free throw.
Down 1-0 too before they to make that upset happen. Even more of an upset.
And to make it even more of an upset, they won both those games on Franca's home floor.
Yes.
Balbi now with 15, and the lead's back to 5 for Flamengo, just inside 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Has Halcones run out of gas? Cubion into Jefferson.
Oh, nice.
Oh, beautiful pass. Cubion. And a nice touch by Jefferson. His first 2 points. Jefferson's also got 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Now Balbi gets it to Galvanini, who shakes loose, and he does a chin up. Galvanini now with 12 points and 12 rebounds. Back to 5 as we approach 2 minutes. Stoll to Jefferson, back out to Stoll for 3. Oh, got an open look. They got what they wanted. And there was nobody in the paint to crash for that rebound. Now Flamengo trying to ice this one. Balbi for 3, no good. Rebound pulled down by Glenn. That's his 9th board. Definitely not panic time yet, but Bejarano slips on that logo on the floor. And did they call Galvanini for a foul? Bejarano.
Yeah.
Yeah. He slipped, was trying to put a shot up, and Galvanini fell on him. I mean, I see Galvanini's point, but I mean, you got to call that foul. He was in the act of shooting. regardless of how he got there. And that's 4 on Galvanini. That's a tough call on Galvanini, but it's absolutely the right call.
I think Galvanino's trying to claim that he got tripped, which from the replay, that's not what it looks like to me. I think Galvanini, for whatever reason, was going to the floor as well. Maybe he got tripped.
It didn't seem,
yeah, it didn't seem the player that was going down there with the ball had tripped him. Bejarano.
So Galvanini will stay in with 4 fouls, as you would expect. Stoll in the game with 4 fouls as well. Bejarano hits the first free throw. Bejarano now with 23 points. And the lead's down to 3. 90 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Oh, a reach in by Jordan Glenn. He poked it away, but committed the foul. Bejarano now tied for game-high honors with Guy Deodato with 23 points. Just a tremendous game. So Balby now to the free throw line. Balby from the stripe, 5 of 6. Gets the first. Balby nets the second, and the lead's back to 5. Still not panic time for Halcones. Oh, nice. Beautiful pick and roll. Jefferson off the window. Up over Caio Manfio.
Jefferson again in the clutch, just doing things, getting baskets, solid rebounds.
Galvanini working on Jefferson. Jefferson, yeah, trying to commit the foul.
Too deep there. He says, before you go up, let me go ahead and foul you.
Yep. That's a good foul by Jefferson there. He swiped at his arm twice. He's like, nope, I want this one. He knew what move was coming, that he was not going to be able to defend it. He was too close to the bucket, so Jefferson commits his 4th. And are they going to look at this? Are they going to...
I'm wondering, I think they're talking about that elbow that Galvanini threw, which was after the foul, so I'm kind of like, well, you know.
Or they could be looking at it as a possible unsportsmanlike on Jefferson.
Yeah.
Because, again, there was no intent to go for the ball. He just hacked him across the arm to stop the move. And they are going to review it. Julio Anaya laughing because he made the wrong signal there. He used the NBA circular motion for a review. And then he remembered, oh, yeah, FIBA. That's the square or the rectangle. The 16 by 9. So, again, not entirely certain what they're looking at here. So here's the play. Jefferson gets behind him. There's the hack. And then there's the elbow. So
is Jefferson asking for a replay right here? I thought originally that he was saying, hey, foul on me.
I don't know. It happened in front of the Halcones bench, so Paco almost might have been asking for it. You know, what about that elbow? And Bejarano, in fact, as soon as it happened, was motioning for the elbow as well. So maybe this is going to be a common foul on Jefferson and maybe a technical on Galvanini, which would end his game. There's the hack and the foul and then the elbow. I don't think Galvanini made contact with the elbow, but I don't think you need to make contact when you throw an elbow like that. So let's see what Julio Anaya says. Okay, so it's just going to be a foul on Jefferson. So evidently he waved off the unsportsmanlike review. That's the only thing I can assume they were looking at then. That's what they actually were, and not looking at the elbow. So a good foul by Jefferson. Galvanini to the free throw line. It's the first. Gabriel Galvanini, 3 of 3 in this game from the free throw line. Came into this one just a 48.6% free throw shooter. Just to get it back to 5 with 1 minute to play. Galvanini hits them both. Galvanini now with 14. Still time for Halcones, but they can't dawdle, and they're going to need to stop at the other end. Stole a little hesitation out to Glenn. Pass got tipped. Glenn from 15. That's good! Down to a possession game now with 39.9 to play. And Glenn with 23. Balby. Both showed some pressure, but backed off with those 4 fouls. Screen by Galvanini. Shot clock at 10. Balby the drive. In traffic. It's good! What a shot by Balby, splitting the defenders. Now Cubion misses the open 3. That was a long shot.
Gotta get a shot up.
And now Stoll fouled by Deodato. Yeah, Deodato tried to commit the foul there and then commits it on Stoll. I mean, clearly the foul, but Stoll had to throw the head back just to make sure.
I mean, Stoll knocked down, so I feel like at least.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't a foul there. Stoll hits the first free throw. If Halcones has any hope at all, Stoll's got to hit this free throw to get it back to a 1-possession game, and he misses.
So, yeah, I was trying to.
What
I
a
was
time to
assessing
miss the free throw.
And now this turns out to be an even better foul. That's what I was sitting here thinking as I watched him shoot. I was like, okay, he wasn't shooting on the foul. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a 3 free throws. So fouling somebody before they can shoot a 3, being up 5, means even if they make both, you get the ball back now, and they still need a 3-pointer. So 3 still doesn't beat you, and so pretty good foul there. And now, especially with the miss, if you can make both, that pretty much seals the game because they got to make 2 3-pointers to tie in 8 minutes. Hopefully I didn't go too fast on all that basketball math for anybody.
Oh, I was with you.
Good thing
and I'm as bad at math as it comes.
Yeah, you can do that one on your hands. You don't need your toes, as I often joke.
Deodato now with 24. Make it 25, and that's going to do it.
Even though Halcones, it would appear, I mean, they have a chance. It's not completely impossible, but it would appear they're probably not going to pull this one out. I feel like I still have to say that I may have been wrong earlier, thinking that they were donezo. They definitely made it competitive. We had this conversation before too. Glenn might be my guy for MVP. Some of the performances that he's had, and then especially we had talked about, is he the most important person on your team? Not necessarily does he have the best stats, which he arguably has the best stats of other players. Like a Diaz, who was an early favorite, but we thought probably is gone since he's out of the tournament now. But but also without him on Halcones, I don't think they're in this position.
Absolutely no question. He's scored in double figures in 7 of 8 games. Of course, one game on the stats has not been included due to a technical error, so I'm not even sure what he scored in that third game against Nacional. And I think had Halcones been able to pull this one out, I think you could have that conversation for MVP. But I think right now it's either going to be Hassel or Galvanini. Oh! A three-pointer by Glenn.
Guess who?
So with just over a second to play.
Well, you really needed that first one to fall. There's just...
Yeah.
I think the only chance you have here, because if they get the ball in, you have to foul. We have, I think, 2.4 seconds on the clock, I think.
I thought there was just over 1.
Okay, so even worse. If I'm right at 2.4 at the most, you have to catch the ball on a steal, probably get out to the 3 unless you're already there, and shoot and hope that goes in. If they get the ball, you have to foul, and then if you're correct and there's 1.2, 1.4 seconds, you foul, and now you potentially have to go the length of the floor in a second if they miss both free throws and hit a 3. I mean, that clock really hurt them by missing that first shot.
Well, I pronounced Halcones dead with 8.8 seconds to play after Deodato hit those 2 free throws. Yeah, so there's 2.1 to play.
2.1, yeah. It's just not a lot of time.
Again, Jordan Glenn, 26 points, all in the second half. I think he had 14 in the third. Another 12 here in the fourth. I mean, an immediate foul here. Hope they miss both, or an immediate steal. There's the foul. Oh! Well, tipped away. Stoll wants a review. The horn sounds.
He's just hoping there's some time left on the clock.
Yeah.
That it went out
I don't
on
think
Flamengo.
there was, though.
Yeah.
So Flamengo holds on to defeat Halcones 90-87. Flamengo gave up an 18-point second half lead. Halcones led by as many as 5 on a couple of different occasions, but Flamengo will be dancing tomorrow night for the title. Opponent to be determined. They will take on the winner of Kimsa and Hebraica Maccabi. That game is coming up at 10:10 p.m. local time, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Halcones will take on the loser of the Kimsa Hebraica Maccabi game in the bronze medal game tomorrow at 6:40 p.m. local time, 5:40 Eastern Daylight. What a tremendous game. Halcones fought until the very last horn. They nearly came away with a steal. If they'd had 5 more seconds, they might have tied this game up. So let's look at the final numbers on this one. Halcones, after a miserable shooting first quarter and first half, really, finished 47% overall from the floor, 29 of 62. A very nice 41% from three-point range, 14 of 34, 15 of 22 from the free throw line. Flamengo, 48% overall, 11 of 23 from three-point range for 48%, and a stellar 17 of 19 from the free throw line as a team for 89%. Flamengo wins the rebounding battle, 37-34. 10 turnovers for Flamengo, 9 for Halcones. Individually, Daniel Bejarano, 23 points on 7 of 13 shooting. He was 4 of 9 from the arc. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists. David Cubigan, 14 points, 4 of 7 from the arc. He had 3 assists. Jordan Glenn, 26 points, all in the second half, 9 of 14 overall after starting out 0 for 4. He was 9 of 10 in the second half. He also added 9 rebounds. Devon Jefferson, 4 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Paul Stoll, 1 point, 10 assists. Alexis Elsener, 6 points. Taylor Fernandez, 3. And Rashid Mahalbasic, 10 points, 4 rebounds. For Flamengo, Franco Balbi, 19 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Guy Deodato, 25 points, 6 of 11 from beyond the arc. Didi Luzada, 9.6 boards. Scott Machado had 5. Kyle Manfio, 6.6 rebounds. Martin Cuello, 3 points. Gabriel Galvanini, 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. Carlos Oliveira, 5 points. Hey, the difference in the game was his three-pointer in that first half. Devon Scott, 4 points, 4 boards. As we listen into the interview with Franco Balbi.
Hay que recuperar piernas. ¿Hay algún rival que tal vez a Flamengo por estilo de juego le sienta más cómodo? Es la pregunta que siempre se hace. Y te pregunto, y tú me vas a decir, me da lo mismo, nosotros somos nosotros.
Sí, nosotros nos tenemos que enfocar en nosotros. Nuestro cuerpo técnico prepara bien los partidos, ya tiene preparados los dos equipos. El que venga será motivo de estudiarlo a detalle mañana. Pero es un Final Four. Está clarísimo que no hay un claro favorito, cualquiera le puede ganar a cualquiera. Va a ser un gran duelo Hebraica y Quimsa, y nosotros esperaremos descansando en el hotel a ver quién enfrentamos mañana.
Descanse, gracias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Franco Balbi still out of breath during that post-game interview. Again, the final score, 90-87. The teams combined for 59 points in that third quarter. Again, one more game to come. Second semifinal between Keemsta and Hebraica Maccabi. That one will tip off in about 1 hour. For my partner, Andrew Hunt, my name is Craig Fada. Saying thanks for watching, and so long for now.